Now that we've learned about types of polynomials and degrees of polynomials, we're ready to add them. I've got two polynomials here, or two sets of polynomials here that we're going to add. And the reason I've got two is because I'm going to show you two different methods for adding them. With this first set of polynomials right here, I'm going to show you what is called the vertical method of addition. And then with the second set, I'm going to show you the horizontal method. And neither method is correct or better than the other. I'm just going to show you both of them and you can pick your favorite, whichever one you like the most. So the vertical method of adding polynomials looks a lot like the vertical method of just adding standard numbers. Whenever you first learned how to add three-digit numbers like 347 plus 261, you would stack the ones column, the tens column, and the hundreds column, and then just add straight down. Vertical method for polynomials is exactly the same. We're going to make sure that the polynomials are in standard form, and the reason we do that is so our answer is in standard form, and then we just stack the polynomials that are the same type of term, so the like terms, one on top of the other. So let me show you what that looks like. We've got 7y squared, and then we've got plus 2y, and then we've got minus 3. So this one's written in standard form already from the biggest exponent to the smallest. Great. Now let's look at our second polynomial, and I'm going to write this one underneath the first one in the same order. So y squared, y number. So our first term is 5y squared, so plus 5y squared. Our next term is minus 4y, so minus 4y. And then our last term is 2, it's a positive 2, so plus 2. And then what I'm going to do is just add these straight down. When you added just numbers, like three-digit numbers, you would always start at the right and work your way over in case you carried something from the ones column to the tens column. But in polynomial addition, we don't carry anything. So you can start from the right or the left. You could start from the middle if you're a weirdo. It doesn't matter, just as long as you add all three columns. So I'm going to start here in the first column. 7y squared plus 5y squared, it's just like combining like terms. If I have a 7y squared and a 5y squared, I get a 12y squared. And then the next column, I have 2y minus 4y. 2 minus 4 is negative 2, so I have a negative 2y. And then in the final column, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1, so minus 1. And there's our answer. The answer right here is 12y squared minus 2y minus 1. And that's it. So the vertical method's a great way to add these. Now let me show you the horizontal method. The horizontal method is going to appeal to you if you like to write less, and the vertical method is going to appeal to you if you like to stay organized. The vertical method is a really good way to stay organized and make sure you don't miss anything, and the horizontal method is going to be for my speedsters that don't like to do extra writing. So for the horizontal method, you do not obviously write it vertically. Instead, you take one piece at a time and you write the answer directly from the problem. So we start off by looking at our biggest exponent term, which is squared. We've got a 4x squared. And then we look in our second set of parentheses and we find a minus 7x squared. And so we do 4x squared minus 7x squared, which is negative 3x squared. Okay, then we go to our next highest exponent, which is x. So we've got a minus 2x and a positive 3x. And negative 2 plus 3 is a positive 1. So you can either do plus 1x or just plus x, depending on your preference. And then finally, we've got our constants. So we've got a plus 7 and a minus 9. And 7 minus 9 is negative 2, negative 2. And there's the answer to this one. Now, you may find yourself attracted to the horizontal method because we write less, but the horizontal method, it's easier to make a math mistake. So if you're struggling with this, if you find this is a little difficult at first, the vertical method does require more writing, but it's easier to keep everything sort of organized and aligned and make make it less likely for you to make an error. And then once you get comfortable with it, maybe switch to the horizontal method, which is faster, but does require you to do more mental math, and that makes it easier to sometimes accidentally make an error. So pick the method you're most comfortable with. But if you're struggling a little bit, I recommend you start with the vertical method and maybe work your way up to horizontal as you get a little more comfortable with doing this kind of math.